Well, good afternoon, my friends. We're back for another Hardanger episode. This is now take I lost count. I tried to do this Friday and flubbed it up. I tried to do it Saturday and had an echo through the whole thing. So I had to delete that. I just recorded over a half hour, just a half hour ago, to which I had no microphone turned on. So I was talking for a half an hour, into a microphone that did not record a word I said, and all you saw was my mouth going. That's it. So, this is the last try. If this doesn't work, we're bagging it for this time. And we will wait until Friday again. Oh, heavens to Betsy, the challenges. Is this not typical? Is it not typical? Would you expect anything less? So, let me try and remember what I told you already 3 times. And hopefully I don't forget anything. But the first thing I wanted to do is show you how to put a dove's eye in where there are no wrapped bars and all you have is cluster blocks. Okay, so we're going to put them in here. Pardon me. What you're going to do is, and I think I have you in here close enough, is bring your thread up in the middle of the block. Okay? Bring your thread up. There's 5 satin stitches. Bring it up. If you can pierce the 3rd one, that's fine. If you can't, just bring it up in that general vicinity. And then do as we have done for dove's eyes when they're on a wrapped bar. Your thread goes across. And again, you're going to pierce that 3rd satin stitch or somewhere in that general area and pull it through. Okay, now you don't want to pull overly tight, but again, you want it reasonable. I have to turn a little bit here. Do the same thing. Working thread goes across the top, somewhere in the neighborhood of that 3rd satin stitch. I try and pierce it if I can, just because I think it gets it more like centered. And then bring your needle up in the middle and over your working thread. And then I turn again. Same thing. Up in the middle and over your working thread. And you may have to adjust your tension on these a little bit. Under the one you started with. And kind of play with the tension a little bit. Okay? So you go under that last one and then you go back down in the center of that first block that you came up. Okay? Did I go under that? Hold the phone, hold the phone, hold the phone. Bring that back. Come back. Didn't look quite right. Okay. Well, the eye on this needle is a little not cooperating. And then you have shaky hands. There we go. Okay. So I want to go under this and come around up on the top again. There we go. There we go. That's better. Okay. So that is how you do those. And then, like I have said in my previous had to delete videos, that I really did get lazy, and technically I should have ended off in here. However, what I did is just ran my thread underneath previous work under a block. I went back under this one, and I will come up in the center of that block and there we go. And then I will be ready to do the last one. Okay? So that is how you do them when you don't have wrap bars. Okay? Now, back to this block. This is my last block in the 4th row. So it is this one. I have it oriented this way. My best advice when you do this one is keep your chart in front of you. When I started this block last night, this part right here, which is these stitches right here, I'm not going to tell you how many times I had to rip them out because I kept getting them facing the wrong direction. I was tired and I should have probably not even been stitching at all, but that's just how it was. So when you start this, I started with these with this, it looks like a half of, yeah, I don't even know what I want to call it. But I started with this. And the way I found my place to start, because of the way I stitched, instead of stitching away from me, I stitched towards me. So that is backwards from what a lot of books will teach you. But ergonomically, it's, wow, my speaker is awful loud here. Ergonomically, it is more advantageous. I'm sorry this was so loud, folks. I didn't realize. I've turned the volume down a bit, so if I was blowing your ears out, please forgive me. I just now realized it almost 10 minutes in. Anyway, ergonomically, it's more correct to stitch towards yourself than it is away from yourself. At least for me, okay? Many books, Hardanger books, will show you stitching away from yourself, and that's perfectly okay. I just prefer to stitch towards myself. So, in light of that, when I started this, I counted in 2 4-sided stitch blocks, and my thread came up 1 thread before this upright bar, but even with this upright bar. So that's where I started. So I counted 1 thread before, and then this was 7, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threads from this upright of the 4-sided stitch into here. Okay, and this is 4 threads down. So that's where I started. My kerfluffle was I always got the 2nd one going in the wrong direction, but yeah. Then your easiest way to stitch this is, once I had these done, I brought my thread so that I could come up here in the shared hole, down here, come up here, down here, and stitch here, here, this one, this one. So you stair step these cluster blocks, which are just differently shaped, in the same manner as you would stitch these. Okay, so you just stair step down this whole length. Just go here, then this one, and then work your way up this side. That's how I would do it. That's how I am doing it. So as you see, I've done this first one. There we go. Done this one and this one. Now I just finished this one, and I'm ready to do this one. Okay, and really it's just varying the amount of threads that you're going over. So this first little stitch is over 2 threads. The next one is over 3 threads. The next one is over 4 threads. And this one is over 5 threads. Now you're going to work your way back, and it's going to go over 4. Set it up to go over 3. And then you'll go over 4 again. And this one will stitch so that it will go over 5. And then you'll work your way back to 2. 5, 4, 3, and this last one is 2, and you're going to turn your work and start again. 2, okay, so that's 2, 3, 4. I'm running out of thread. I gotta soon change. This one's 5. 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, oh, it still came up in the wrong place. Should be, the next one should be a 4. So that's 4, and then 5, then 4 again, then 3, and 2. And then you're going to do the turn again. Okay. I turned it wrong. I'm I'm going to come up here. Sorry, you're going to share this hole. Okay, 2. Now on this particular one, now you notice, whoops, these share holes here. This does not. This one's going to share holes. So this is going to be our last. We need 4. 1, 2, 3. This is 4. And then you'll go around, come up, and they will eventually get cut and wrapped. And they will get the same filling stitches we did up here. Okay. Now, after you complete this row, the next one out is going to be your double cable, then a set of cluster blocks with dove's eyes, double cable, eyelets, and then you'll repeat this little stinker in each corner. Okay, so that's how you do this next block. Okay, again, all stitches that you know, all stitches that you've done. It's just getting them in the right sequence. My best advice is with this block, keep your chart handy, because to get the orientation of stitches correct. Now, okay, this is what I was telling people in the last one that I talked for over a half an hour to no sound being recorded. On my live session, I think it was Friday, we were discussing what can you do with this when it's done. Like, what are people going to do with this piece when they finished? Oh no, I'll go back here. There we go. What are people going to do with this piece when they have it finished? Now, as you see, it's beautiful, just beautiful. And I have this row of blocks to do yet after I finish this one. You can frame it. You can make it into a tote bag. You can make it into a pillow. You could well, with the stitches that are currently charted to go around the outside, I don't know that I would use it as any kind of a doily or, a covering just to lay out by itself, because those stitches do not bind the edges. So you would have to change that in order to be able to cut this out and use it as something that you would lay on whatever. What I'm going to do, I thought was just a really cool idea. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Will work perfect for this. Perfect. I'm going to make a liner. So a piece of dark fabric that will go behind this. And then I'm going to fold it like this. Can you guess where I'm going with this? I'm going to fold it like this. This will be open. This, well, whichever way I fold it would be the front. This would be the back. And this, now you have to imagine all this excess fabric cut off, okay, will come down like this. And you have a nice little clutch. put some kind of something on here to close it. Now, how I'm going to do that is, like I said, I'm going to make a liner and put that. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to attach that yet, but there will be a liner attached. And then, in order to put it together, I'm going to put it together with a buttonhole stitch. So, I'm going to start on one side, and I'm going to buttonhole through, do a buttonhole stitch through both layers of fabric, up the side and across what will be the opening. Then I'm going to start on the other side, and I don't know which side I'll start on first. I'm just saying. Then I'm going to start on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come up the side, and when I get to here, I'm going to keep on going and put the buttonhole stitch around here, across the top, and down this side to meet with the buttonhole stitches here. Once I have it buttonhole stitched, I should be able to cut away all this excess fabric. Okay? And all this excess fabric, so that I'm just left with this and this and around here. And have a lid, well, a lid, a flap that closes to close it up. And this, it just would be a nice little if you were going away somewhere and you really didn't need to take a lot of stuff, and you could use this just as an evening bag or something to that effect. Will I use it? No. No. But it is a great idea to display. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with mine. I will have a video or make a video of my process to do that. And let me tell you what, the process is going to be, figure it out as you go. I will probably try and do a little bit of research on how to put something like that together, but it will be pretty much figure it out as we go, and what makes sense. Even my buttonhole stitch, as I'm sitting here saying all of this, thinking, well, it might look a little weird to have a buttonhole stitch come off of this edge yet. My buttonhole stitch may cover part of this last row of four-sided stitch. And would I do a lining that is separate and sewn in just along the top edges and loose in here? Or would I do a lining that I would attach all the way around, because I wanted to cover this also, and include it in putting these sides together? My other thought as I'm sitting here is I may, just for to reinforce everything, I may take whatever material I decide to line this with and sew it on with a sewing machine, and then buttonhole stitch to hide that sewing machine line is another possibility. And then here, along here, like I would sew it with a sewing machine on the sides. I'm thinking out loud here. So if you guys have suggestions or ways to do this, holler at me. But I'm thinking if I do it on the sides, here I could include it, or I could leave enough to turn an edge under and hand sew it to the back of the buttonhole stitch, and the same with here, so that it would have more of a finished look. Anyway, I'm not a big sewer. Yeah, I'm not a big sewer. My mother was, but I'm not a big sewer. So I'll have to research a little bit on how to put things of this sort together. If any of you, and I think there's a few of you out there who do some beautiful sewing, have any suggestions on how to do it, please get a hold of me. Because I don't have that many more. I only have, finish this one, 3 more blocks to do. I did not get the pictures together yet. I have them all saved. I just have not gotten them made into a video yet. I will do that hopefully this week. I'll tell you what. It's I'm spending more time doing videos and getting things together for videos than I am doing my own stitching. So, yeah. I will try getting that slideshow together so that we can put that on the end of a video. Okay, so with that, my friends, I'm going to call this one a day. I will be back when I do, I'll try to be back on Friday. If not, it will be when I do the next, at least start the next block, and we'll talk our way through it. And yeah, like I said, it's not a rush. Work at this at your own speed. That's kind of what I'm doing. And you know what? We'll get done when we get done. And if I finish before you guys, these videos will always be here. So with that, my friends, have a great week. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.